So welcome back. Of course, this is Dr. Keith McNally, and this is the Trail to Transformation Appalachian Trail thru-hike. And so each month, or actually more frequently than that, I'm going to give myself some challenges. And my latest challenge is to go from Sandbridge, Virginia, which is a beach area at the southernmost point here in Virginia. So the Virginia Beach area, going all the way down, has a Sandbridge Trail. It's actually a combination of a couple of different trails, but the longest part of the trail is Sandbridge. So the Sandbridge Trail goes all the way from the southernmost point of Virginia at Fall. I always get this wrong. It's not Falls Cape because we're right here on the ocean. It's False, F-A-L-S-E. It's False Cape. And there's a 10-mile trail that goes all the way to the North Carolina border, which is what I took. And so from the visitor center parking lot all the way through the trail, all the way through the border, and I just made it to the border, so I've never done this before. And so this is my this is my second hike on the trail itself. And so I took the trail about a month or so ago from the parking lot, the visitor center, all the way to, it's actually the parking lot entry point to the visitor center, which is about 4.5 miles into the trail and back. And so on that day, I actually did a hike at my local trail and did 9 miles, and then went there and did another 9 miles for a total of 18. This time I was going to go all the way to North Carolina, and I did, but just to the border. And so the trail continues along. I'm not quite sure how long, but it eventually makes its way to the Atlantic Ocean, northern part of North Carolina. And so I'm going to go back and do that. And so the trail has a couple of different hiking points. It starts off at very gravel, rocky, hard rock road. Goes into, more of a dirt end, and since we've had rain recently, it was a lot of mud. And then at the southernmost point, it actually turns into sand, so it's a sand dune. So, and that of course, if you're hiking with a pack, or actually just walking a sand dune, you know how hard that is. But hiking with a 30-pound pack, a day pack for that matter, was very challenging. So going into the last 2.5 miles and then coming out, about 5 miles of the trek was all in sand. And so what did I carry with me? What's in my ruck? Well, let me tell you. Let's take a look. I always carry my sleeping bag. I do always carry my sleeping bag because you never know where. It actually adds some pretty good weight. And at the base part of it, this is my rain jacket. Extra clothes. And for this particular hike, it's just pants and shirt and some socks. Down here you see my sleeping bag. I did not take that with me this time. And of course you see my bear vault. I did not take that with me this time either. But this has kind of been a keepsake. It's empty right now, but I typically keep some gear in there. I do have my sleeping bag. I always keep that with me. It's kind of just always have that for practice because I'm going to make the AT. So let's see. Water. Bunch of water. So this has been refilled with my tap. This used to be Propel grape, but it now just has regular filtered water. I've got a home filter system, so regardless of what spout it comes out of, it's filtered water. I'm looking for the amount of liters. Just over 1. No, I'm sorry, this is 1 liter. So I always carry that with me. I actually carry 2 whole liters. Then I also carry this guy. So these are on the back side. These are on this side. Then I carry this. This is my immediate reserve. I think this is 3/4 of a liter. All right, I can get that back in. I always carry my bottle, and I carry this in my fanny pack, which sits right here. So that's always there. These are my keepsakes. So I got these at Walmart. These are 1.5 liters each. And my goal for this was to keep ice in them, filled with ice. So these are pretty heavy for carrying around. Because I didn't want to get dehydrated and I did want to stay cool. So these stayed in here, filled with ice. And I've got some, if I can only remember where they were, my granola bars. I typically keep granola bars. I keep my granola bars in the waist. So I got my emergency inhaler and I've got some granola here. Actually, my emergency inhaler is over there. Got some granola. Granola. So I've got about 3 liters worth of water. I got 2 containers full of ice. And because this was only a day trip, this was going to be an immediate energy burst. So this is just iced tea. Love iced tea. Sweet tea from Pure Leaf. Had 2 of these. So at the halfway mark, about 10 miles in, had one of these with the granola. Really only had about half a cup of this. When I'm on the trail and I'm hiking, it's really pure adrenaline that keeps me going. So I had 2 of these, one for the halfway mark and one for the finish line. So this was really good at the finish line and it was really good at the halfway mark. And that was really about it. And so sleeping bag, rain gear, extra clothes, and really the heavy part was the 2 containers of ice. And that really took me all the way to North Carolina and back. And I'm going to take a snapshot of the total miles. I think my reading glasses are crooked. So anyway, total miles 20.78, so almost 21 when I go back next time. So I'm going to make this a regular trip. This is a really good challenge for me. A 20 or 21 mile hike in a day is really good. And it may sound crazy for many of you out there, but for me that's a good hike day. And so my average typically is I do 14-mile days before I go to work. And then of course I hit the gym with some basic, bench pressing, pull-ups, squats, shoulder presses, the basic standard stuff. And I'm just going to challenge myself with really long day hikes and even overnight camping between now and April 1st. April 1st, 2025 is my launch date for the AT. So with that, keep hiking and I wish you the best. I'll see you next time. Take care.